So Kev, we had to battle from behind this afternoon to take a point from the game. What did you make of the afternoon?
Yeah, I think disappointed we haven't got 3. I think first and foremost, because I think for the amount of game we had and the domination I think we had and the chances, we could have scored more goals. We knew what it was going to be like. They'd make it really difficult in terms of let the furthest man have the ball, and match up and wait for a trigger to jump. But we knew it'd be a low blockish, and we had to be patient and wait for the right moment to come. And we knew that there'd be a set pieces or, a long throw in the box and second phase and third phase, and to wait for something to drop. So I think when they score, I think it's a great reaction from us straight away to go the other end and get the penalty, which we fully deserved, and could have been a couple more. So to respond like that was brilliant, and then had time to go win it, and we tried to win it. We threw the kitchen sink at them, if you want.
Yeah, Andrew Dallas's 4th goal of the season.
Yeah.
How pleased were you to see him following up after the penalty save?
Yeah, brilliant. I think he's getting fitter, sharper every game he plays, and I think he's had a couple more chances as well. The header, which is a good save, and I think credit to them. They put bodies on the line in front of the goalie, and there's a block from Dallow on one of them. And listen, it can be so difficult to break down and there's so many bodies between the 18-yard box and the goal, and you've got to wait for the right moment and hope you don't give them anything. And if you can get the first goal, then they've got to open up, and then the game opens up. But it wasn't to be that way. And listen, if you don't win, you don't get beaten. We've done that, and we wanted the 3 points, and we're disappointed. But credit to the players, they kept going, and we had a number of chances to score more than the 1 goal today.
Yeah, Boston did sit in and make it difficult, didn't they? And you just said it there. Really, it was a bit of a cliche, but important to take something from the game if you can't win it. Yeah,
of course. And listen, we knew it'd be like that, of course. And credit to them how well they defended, and as they put bodies on the line. And listen, we knew that the keepers take time on kicks, and I think the disappointing thing from both benches was some of the fouls that slowed the game down. And for both sides, the things that we don't see as fouls that kept getting given, it slows the game down, and and takes the impetus out of the game. And I felt second half we kept pushing and looked like the breakthrough was coming. So important, really pleased with how we responded, and the number of chances we created today.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers.
Kevin, it's a share of the points, 1-1 draw against Boston United. We have to come out. What's the overriding feeling after that one?
Yeah, disappointed we haven't won it. I think, first and foremost, I think, on the balance of play, we've created more chances, more clear-cut ones as well, more possession, but possession doesn't win you games. But when you create chances, and even at half-time, we knew we had to be patient and wait for the right moment to come. And I think, especially second half, we had more clear-cut chances, and the pressure, we hoped it was going to start telling. Obviously, when they get the goal, it becomes more difficult, but it's important we responded quickly, and we've done that.
Like you say, in that first half, you had some really great build-up stuff.
Yeah.
It's just getting that final touch, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, as you said, was it just a case at half-time saying, just keep going with what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, we got into enough good areas, but it can be so difficult when there's no space in between the final third, and there's so many bodies between the goal, and you've got to wait for that maybe moment of magic, a mistake, because we got in some good areas, but they put their bodies on the line, I have to say, and give them credit for that. And they were waiting for that moment of counter-attack, and listen, it's something you've got to deal with here, because the crowd, I thought the crowd were brilliant, especially going into the North Bank there at the end. They really sucked the ball in for the players, and it makes a huge difference, I've got to say.
Yeah, I suppose obviously the first goal came for Boston after that for a long throw wasn't quite dealt with at the moment. I suppose there was some frustration there.
Yeah, I think it comes from a cheap free kick again, down this side that swung in, goes for a throw in. And we get the first contact, but it's second phase, third phase that probably just ball watch a little bit, and it falls. Listen, it's a ricochet off someone, and it falls to someone, and they're the breaks you need sometimes. But listen, it was a good response and a quick one as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I say, 2 substitutes coming as well to create that as well. Jack putting the ball in and Ollie Coker winning it in there as well. You've also been pleased to see that contribute, and actually pleased to see Southend winning the penalty as well. Yeah,
that was nice. Yeah, and listen, we could have had one before that. I think for a handball, there guys fell on the ball, and
it was about 3 in a row.
Yeah, it was about 3 in a row. But I was thinking it's never going to come. I don't know what we got to do, and then he'd give the free kick out against Keenan, which was it was tough to to take if you want. But listen, we were going to make the changes anyway with Bridgie and Coates to try and win it, so they were waiting to come on in the meantime, and glad they affected the game.
And then, of course, Jack Bridge stepped up for the penalty, couldn't quite find the corner, but that man in there again, Andy Dallas's 4th goal of the season. Yeah, pleased. It's a real goal scorer's poacher's goal if you want, and thankfully he was in the right place at the right time. And of course, one of the other substitutes you mentioned, I see Leon Parallon came on. Again, he's shown it a lot before, but he seems to just keep getting better and better with Brick coming on and really driving at teams late on in the game. Yeah, and I think, when we spoke to him a couple of weeks ago, because he started against Hartlepool and didn't do enough of that. And we looked at the stats that from that game about dribbles and playing forward, he didn't do enough of it. And he come on at Wealdstone was excellent. And I said to the subs and the ones not playing, they're the ones that have got to drive the standards, and they come and affected the game again, which was important, and Leon's one of them. Like you say, there was a chance actually for Andy there. Like you say, a lot of chances on that goal, but there was one man in the way, that Boston United goalkeeper, he seemed to stand up to quite a lot today.
Yeah, he did, and give him credit. I think Dallo's header, I think Goody's had a chance second half where he's just got one at the back post that just gone wide. Number of shots that were blocked. And so many good areas we got into, we just couldn't, as you say, there's so many bodies in the way that you're waiting for a moment of magic or a mistake or a set piece or something like that to break it, but it wasn't to be. But I'm pleased with the players. I've got to say, they kept going and going, and it's a great response to conceding late on where it can be difficult, and we didn't panic, and we're the team that probably wanted to go and win it.
And like you touched on already, 7,900 in the crowd. So you said, very much that North Bank socking the ball in, pretty much. You're really pleased with what you saw there. Yeah, absolutely, because I think teams want to turn us round, and I think the North Bank it's like a home in that as well. So, I think they played a huge part in keeping us going there and putting them on the back foot. Brilliant, thanks, Glenn.
Thank you.
So no Charlie Kendall tonight. No. How bad is that?
Yeah, hopefully not bad. I think whether it's a bit neural or not, he looked like he was training with something. I spoke to him yesterday. He's just been managing it a little bit. So it was too much for a risk to put him in today, and especially with walks back as well, we felt like we could not risk him. Because if anything happens, then we can put him out for longer.
And did Nora have his operation? Was it a bit early to find out? Yeah, no. Listen,
it went as well as possible, but he's going to be out for the rest of the season minimum. And listen, our thoughts are with him, and no one wants to see that, and we just hope a speedy recovery, and he'll get all the support he needs from us and the club, of course.
Yeah, I thought Cav going in only might be a good game.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, listen, I think it's easy to pass by players who haven't been playing a lot, and just because someone's playing, someone's not, doesn't make them not as important to us. And that goes for everyone. And Cav stepped in, and I thought he done really well. And listen, we need squad. Injuries are going to come, and we need everyone.